What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Corey Graves was trying to get fired from WWE. Is Aleister Black on his way to WWE, or is he retiring? Jaida Parker is under fire. WWE Hall of Famer Bob Uecker passes away. An insane rumor regarding Jaida Parker and Jey Uso. Tony Khan gets blasted. A rapper criticizes AEW after working there. An interesting John Cena WWE trademark, a jailed WWE star wants her prison sentence reduced, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at Corey Graves trying to get fired from WWE. At top of today's news is the ongoing saga involving WWE announcer Corey Graves. The Corey Graves situation keeps getting more and more interesting, as there are now reports that people inside WWE believe that Graves' recent social media messages, where he complained about how he was being used, was an attempt to get fired. Graves, who was recently sent to call the action on NXT, implied that he wasn't famous enough for the main roster. He also said that he would have plenty to say when he called NXT, only for WWE to apparently pull him from the 14th January show. While some believe that Graves' comments are still a work, it was reported on the Wrestling Observer Radio a couple of weeks ago when Corey Graves got the word that Wade Barrett was going to replace him on that show and he wasn't happy. I don't know if he got the word he was going to start in January in NXT. I don't know the situation there. I just know that when he found out he wasn't going to be on SmackDown, as he presumed he would be, so he was genuinely unhappy. Some fans and pundits noticed that Corey seemed visibly upset when he called the action on NXT. They went on to note, there's people who think that they was trying to get fired, and that's why he did it. If he was trying to get fired, they probably not going to fire him. As far as we know, he's not fired, and I don't know if he's suspended or what it was. He went home. That's where it stands. Now, as with anything in wrestling, it's difficult to separate fact from fiction, especially in an industry where fooling the fans is an essential element. Right now, kayfabe is very hard to pull off in this day and age, but are we still getting worked? What do you guys think? Is this a work or a real life problem? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a former WWE announcer defends Corey Graves. A former WWE interviewer and announcer, Kevin Kelly, is taking sides in the Corey Graves controversy. Recently, NXT announcer Booker T suggested Corey should be happy with his position in the WWE, but Kelly, who is currently at odds with AEW, as more about that later in the news, defended Graves, tweeting, "Put me and Graves together at the desk. Corey would become the biggest commentary star in wrestling because I would actively try to get him over. Let his star shine." Fans will have to wait and see whether Graves is looking to get fired, as some believe, or this just turns into a huge storyline, maybe leading up to his wrestling return. One thing that has been noted is that Corey has now deleted the tweet. Next up, a major Aleister Black update. Now it's time for some major updates concerning AEW wrestler Aleister Black, who's rumored to be on his way out of AEW. Let's look at the latest, including rumors that Black may retire, as well as rumors that he had backstage heat. First, is he retiring from wrestling? While it's unclear just when Aleister Black will be free to work outside AEW, a new report from Pro Wrestling Torch suggests that Black may not return to wrestling at all. Black had told some people in AEW in the last year or two he was burned out and he just wanted time away, and perhaps even mentioned potentially retiring. Aleister Black is 39, which in today's wrestling world is an ancient, unless a wrestler has suffered serious injuries and is at risk of grave consequences if he's injured again. A situation that sadly may be the case for the New Day's Biggie. But does WWE want to sign Aleister Black? While fans have had to wait and see whether Black returns to wrestling, rumor has it that the WWE is ready to welcome him back. That's at least according to Pro Wrestling Torch's recent article about Black's status. PW Torch has heard that there are influential people in WWE who are big fans of Black and see him as a possible top singles act in the company, so it seems as if he'd be welcomed back and embraced. Aleister Black's wife, Zelina Vega, works in WWE and has been busy in the Latino World Order. There's no word on how Black might be booked if he returns to WWE, but chances are he'll be used much better than he did during the Vince McMahon era. According to Black himself, Vince McMahon actually admitted that he used him in the wrong way. So could he be better used under the Triple H era? Next up, did he have backstage heat in AEW? Now that Black's days in AEW are winding down or over, rumors have come up that Black could be difficult to work with. According to Pro Wrestling Torch, Black was criticized by colleagues in AEW who were frustrated by the perception that he was resistant to doing business, including a reluctance to doing jobs and frequent claims of injury issues. He and Tony Khan never developed rapport. Now, some fans might be skeptical of the rumors given that they surfaced after Black's apparent departure, but what do you guys think of this? Knowing that there wasn't any backstage problems or heat in WWE, was this really the case for AEW? Next up, Jaida Parker under fire. Now, NXT superstar Jaida Parker found herself in the hot seat on social media after she liked a social media post about a recent bill passed in the House of Representatives regarding trans athletes. Inside the Ropes wrote, Instagram account Spiritual World posted a screenshot of a news story stating that the US House has passed a bill to ban transgender athletes from competing in the women's and girls' sports at federally funded schools. Fans noticed that Parker had liked the Instagram post, prompting one user to ask the NXT star for more context. Parker then responded to the tweet saying, "Oh, I'd love to. Clotheslining wants to be messy and that's fine because ignorance is contagious. But what they're not going to do is come at my name because my opinion doesn't align with theirs and clearly don't know how to educate themselves on the real definition of being transphobic." And this isn't the first time a WWE superstar has shared their opinion on the issue of trans athletes. You may recall Logan Paul came under fire last summer when he commented on the controversy about a boxing competitor at the Summer Olympics. But Jaida later tweeted, "Don't get nothing twisted, I support the LGBTQ community, but I'm a woman who also played in D1 sports, and if y'all can't understand that, I don't know what else to tell you." And this is a hot button issue that is set to draw responses from many different people. No word on whether Jaida's comments have led to any backstage heat in WWE. Next up, an insane rumor regarding Jaida Parker and Jey Uso. Now, as if Jaida Parker doesn't have to deal with enough on social media, a new rumor claims that she was having an affair with WWE superstar Jey Uso, whilst fans made this conclusion up by looking at a recent Indy Hartwell video that she posted, noticing Jey Uso in the back of a club where Jaida Parker was also there. There's nothing else to support these rumors, and unless we learn of any conclusive proof, this is the last we'll report on this. But unfortunately, this type of situation has to be addressed to stop things from spiraling right out of control. In fact, this news story that was going around on social media put everything in a tailspin this morning. Right now, unless anything comes out, we're putting these as false rumors. Next up, Kevin Kelly blasts Tony Khan. Now, it looks like former AEW announcer Kevin Kelly isn't holding back in terms of criticizing AEW president Tony Khan. Kelly, who's worked in wrestling for decades, including a stint in WWE as a backstage interviewer and later in calling the matches for Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling, later worked calling the action of AEW Collision. The Sports Illustrated provided background on his departure from AEW. His run with AEW didn't last long though. Kelly was fired by the company in March of 2024 after taking to social media to criticize fellow announcer Ian Riccoboni and accused him of libel and defamation. He, alongside the Tate twins, would then sue AEW and Tony Khan to void arbitration clauses in their contracts and also filed a separate suit seeking monetary damages. Now, Kelly recently tweeted about why he left AEW, blasting Tony Khan with this tweet. "All I wanted to do was call wrestling. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd have to listen to a stuttering son of a billionaire feeding me lines and then correcting himself and telling me what I was doing great. They waited until I had a mental breakdown to fire me." And this isn't the first time Kevin Kelly has criticized AEW, as he's blasted the company in the past for being disorganized. Next up, MJF's Owen Hart comments have raised eyebrows. Did MJF cross the line during a promo with Jeff Jarrett on the 15th January Dynamite? Jeff Jarrett, who was working a storyline of attempting to win the AEW World Championship before he retires, was confronted by MJF, and MJF, known for his personal attacks on opponents, dropped this bomb on Jarrett. What really makes me mad is that just because you are best friends with Owen Hart, you think you're owed a grand finale. And this led to a predictable brawl between the two wrestlers, but now some fans are wondering whether this comment was necessary. Of course, this is MJF and he's always going to push the bar, and in all honesty, I don't think he would have said the line without Martha Hart's blessing. But what do you guys think of it? Next up, WWE Hall of Famer Bob Uecker passes away. Unfortunately, there's very sad news to share, as Bob Uecker, affectionately known as Mr. Baseball, passed away today at the age of 90. As well as a baseball legend, he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2010 for his memorable appearance at WrestleMania 3 and most notably at WrestleMania 4 with his segment with Andre the Giant. We send our condolences to Bob Uecker's family, friends, and fans all around the world. Next up, a rapper criticizes AEW after working there. Now, Kevin Kelly isn't the only person criticizing AEW. Rapper Action Bronson worked a match in AEW during 2022's Grand Slam event, teaming with Hood to defeat Matt Menard and Angelo Parker. Bronson recently chatted with Ariel Helwani about the experience, including how AEW never called him back. Come on man, you know what they do. They don't call you back. I never got called back. There was an angle there, I'm ready right now. I'm ready for whoever. Bronson was then asked whether he liked working in AEW, responding, I did. Actually no. I enjoy the act. I don't like the backstage is weird over there. It's just weird. It was just like everybody's cliquey. Bronson said he's down for an in-ring return, but based on his comments, it probably won't be in AEW. Next up, an interesting trademark for John Cena. As some recent trademark applications are capturing fans' attention, and WrestleTalk is reporting that WWE recently applied for a trademark for Cena Nation. In addition, separate application filings have also been spotted for the game, a term associated with Triple H, as well as the names of NXT stars Brooke Jensen and Malik Blade. Interestingly, WWE also applied for Sam Stoker, the name used by Pretty Deadly's Kit Wilson during his time working in the Indies and NXT UK. The WWE is always on top of its IP game, and as fans have seen, it sometimes hints at future storylines and plans for individual superstars. And finally, a jailed WWE star wants her sentence reduced. And last but not least, PW Insider is reporting that former WWE superstar Sunny, aka Tammy Sytch, is seeking a reduction in her prison sentence. Sytch is currently serving a 17-year sentence after a 2022 motor vehicle accident killed motorist Julian Lasseter. Sytch was charged with DUI manslaughter and sentenced on different counts. Johnson obtained a copy of Sytch's letter to the judge, and Sytch advised the judge on her efforts helping others in prison, including a role as a teacher's aide, her remorse, and that she has gainful employment when she's released. One of Sytch's requests is that two of her charges run concurrent at the same time rather than consecutive, where Sytch would serve the time one charge then being served another. We say let her serve as much time as possible. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.